So I'm laughing to myself right now. Before I start every stream, I think, okay, what am I going to come up with for the title? And today, talking about how the Faun from Narnia rants about NFTs and crypto. Now, if you don't know the Faun, do you remember Mr. Tumnus? At least that's the Faun. I don't know why. Somebody told me one day, they're like, "Yo, you look like the Faun from Narnia." Now, I don't remember how long ago this was, but I'm not gonna lie. Relatively accurate. So we're going to roll with the punches. Welcome to another edition of XFeed. My name is The Schiller. We're talking about NFTs, crypto, all that kind of jazz for a while. Today, I'm maybe doing something sort of strange. We didn't stream yesterday. Apologies for that. Just didn't get to it. But we have a lot to go through. There's a lot of things that are happening on the timeline. I got through a stream plus worth of stuff. And there's still more. Like I could scroll for a while to go through a lot of different things. So we'll go through what I have, and then we'll kind of make an audible, right? We'll make a pivot if we need to continue the stream. So this one could end up being like an hour or 2 hours. I don't know. If people are vibing, having a good time, let me know. Appreciate you tuning in. But let's start things off with some news coming out of BAYC. So everything we're seeing is that we're in a new, more sober and friendly regulatory environment for crypto. We've waited a long time. Yo, Cosman, good morning. I'm Dolly. How in the halibut are we doing? Garga, himself, CEO of Bored Ape Yacht Club. Everything we're seeing is that we're in a new, more sober and friendly regulatory environment for crypto. We've waited a long time for that, which is what Grateful Ape said. Why didn't we listen? We got to put quotations on here. If this is a quote from somebody else, not yourself, what are we doing? We have plans to reward BAYC and other deed holders with something we have planned this year. All right, not bad, not bad, not bad. So let's take a little bit of a speculation, if you will. What happens if those holders get liquidity? Is it something where there's enough confidence around the ecosystem that it gets re-put back in to other Yuga assets? Is there too much of a pull of attention going elsewhere, where if there is a liquidity event of some sort around the Yuga ecosystem, that it has a trickle-down effect? These are the questions we have to ask, because market catalysts in general, if you think of the anime token and Azuki, well, that just happened. What else moved in the space? Basically nothing. When Penguin and the Pudgy token happened, what happened within the space? Nothing. It's all been siloed into whatever those collections are. Obviously, we've seen sell-offs from those various collections, but we haven't really seen something, at least as far as I'm aware, where there's been a big, massive event for some collection that's positively affected others. Now, we've talked a little bit about the auto blockchain. It's connected with the Featureverse ecosystem and Ripple custody. So they now have XRP wallet binding available. And this is something that I've looked at a little bit. I've tried allocating a little bit too. I'm kind of in a spot because I'm kind of debating moving some NFTs to try to get more exposure to it. And I don't want to like overshill because it's still like a really far away platform from really getting mass adoption. But I'm saying the first thing connected with Ripple custody, there's going to be a lot of doors that open up here, and I think there's going to be some fun things. So, again, I have the founder interview for that, but something that I just wanted to mention, because then we can go back and be like, all right, cool. We were like one of the only people in the world talking about this before it became anything. Azuki, Enter the Garden, Episode 2, Fractured Reflections, premiering on anime.com February 2025. It's weird. Every time I look at like an Azuki film of some sort, I feel like it doesn't really like remind me that much of the collection. Like obviously it's a different art style overall, but I mean, Like this sword fighting, I feel looks like it, where like that opening frame with this character, I don't know if it really matches. But I mean, I guess it's anime, so there's really a whole lot to complain about. But either way, very interesting to see episode number 2 for Izuki coming out. We'll see what the reception looks like. So there was some FUD around the anime token drop that did just happen, and one of the big talking points that it seemed the entire timeline had a say in was who got allocated. So since the Pudgy Penguin airdrop, in which if you had an older Ether wallet, I think you can still even claim it if you have a Solana wallet. And if you have kind of an original Solana wallet or whatever they have as kind of like an early adopter for it, you got a claim of Pengu. And then the timeline, everyone else was like, oh, this is great. You're including so many people. And they've now turned to the slogan of billions will huddle, relating to their collection. Now, for anime, for Mizuki, they gave it to an NFT collection on ApeChain. We have one of the dexes, or holders of a token from a dex, that's on Arbitrum. A lot of other stuff with our Arbitrum in general. We have some Ethereum NFTs, Zai itself, top holders of the token. And then when you go down to the anime communities, Oni4's, Eco Virtual, Animitas, Atsulan Saga, Waifu, Bay Cafe. The hell name is that? Yo, Ballythorn, what's going on? How are we doing? And a whole bunch of other collections. So Renga, Persona, San Francisco, Tokyo Vision. You'll recognize some of them. You'll not recognize other ones. But the big overarching component to this is people complaining, saying, well, a lot of these collections rugged or are inactive. Why are we rewarding that? Now, I think that it's kind of a weird way to swing it, because it's like, well, if these people liked something in the anime realm and they got into a collection that didn't end up working out, well, you just opened the door for them to be able to join your anime community collection, whatever. So, I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't really know why necessarily that's a big deal. But yeah, Izuki's did end up getting kind of walloped on that afterwards. And we were going to go through and look at all like the different collections, but I don't really know if that adds any relevancy. But speaking on collections that I haven't heard about for a while, Lucky Zeros was something that I got introduced to a while ago. And if you actually type in Lucky Zeros, you'll be able to find an interview that I had with the Pure Base Studios person. But the last post I had was like July 23rd of 2024. And it's awkward because, you know, you've listened to people talk on Spaces. They have these big games. They have, these big intentions and all this stuff. And then like eventually it comes to a point where like a lot of these things just completely stop. So I think the people that have these bigger communities, that have these bigger amounts of funding that are very, very public in a sense, is a good thing. Because we look at some smaller things, get excited about it, and then, you know, it really is kind of a 50-50 on whether it's going to last. And I don't think the Lucky Zeros ended up lasting. Now, one that did is the Deadfellas collection. This is Psych, who's leading the way on that. In 2023, we got stuck in endless legal and dev red tape, losing us the entire year. In 2024, we spent overthinking how to justify that lost time. I've realized now that's a BS mentality. From now, we aggressively ship, progressing in small steps, staying relevant, delivery over everything. And I mean, yeah, I feel like there has been this big movement from everybody that's founding in Web3 that's still here to now be talking about like delivering, executing, all of this. And is it because of the US administration? Is it because, all right, we've established after a certain number of years that we're a collection that's still going to be around? We have people that support us in various ways, and now there's like a confidence factor that's there? Because it does feel like overall there's a big shift on shipping from every founder right now. But again, still awesome to see Deadfellas this year. You got a question. Do you remember a Thanksgiving party several years ago in Texas where a dude got screamed at by Becker? I was there. I had no idea that happened, and I've never been to Texas. But hell yeah, were you the one screaming or getting screamed at? You must have done something crazy. Okay, so we've been doing a series highlighting the Root Network, different builders on this one. This is anti-social media. We're not going to play this whole thing. We'll just play the first question. But this is a conversation between Connor and I. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, before we get into it, did anybody notice? Nobody's noticed. I was seeing if they were going to catch it. Nobody caught it. Watch what I do here.
Paper, scissors, shoot.
So I do scissors, but I put rock here. Nobody's called it out yet. Nobody's called it out. And then this guy, like, basically lets me win because of how slow he's going. But nobody's caught it. All right, guys, another Root Network video. This time we're talking with Connor from Anti-Social Media, otherwise known as ASM, not the ASM you guys are thinking about, but the way we're going to kick things off here is I've asked Connor to show off the different social media pages, the different marketplace and items they have, because I think for a lot of what we've talked about, I've edited in some things, but I think for this one, it's going to be good to show what you guys have. So Connor, thanks for coming on. Give us a lowdown. What's Anti-Social Media?
Definitely. How's it, guys? Yeah, I'm the co-founder. I have another partner, Crypt, and yeah, we're working on anti-social media. It's kind of a brand, a clothing brand that we've been working on for quite a while now. Um, the clothing brand represents a little more than just anti-social media. It's kind of like a play on words. So it's like we're on media, but we like against it in like a sense. More of like we are trying to strive for people to accomplish their goals and represent the process in terms of like if you have a goal and it's like to be an influencer or whatever it is, like you should strive and you should go for it and stop getting distracted by other people's work. So how anti-social media actually originated is originally from Crypt. So I actually came over from Solana. So I was working on an NFT project because I'm actually the 3D designer for anti-social media. And how it originated was Crypt found me and he needed someone to make NFTs for the one utility that he had for his original collection. So then he told me that he was making a clothing brand, and that's when I was like, yeah, I've been wanting to make a clothing brand. I've been wanting to do my own project instead of making NFTs for people. So that's kind of how anti-social media originated.
So there's the opening for that. Again, full 32-minute interview if you're interested on the various pages. Snazzy, are you wearing the same outfit? Hold on a minute. We're looking. So that is a hoodie. And this is not a hoodie. Nice. Close. Whoops. Wrong one. No. There we go. Okay, we're back. Ballythorn, you fellow Bored Ape still? Hell yeah. Interested to see kind of what this year looks like on that one. Yo, it's, dude, are we buying H-Bar today? Yo, Harry Swan, what are we doing? Yo, rock, paper, scissors. What are you saying? That's the question. So this next component here is kind of strange. If you guys have any takes on the timeline or anything you want to discuss, I am all ears. Like today, if we want to like sit here and chat about just dumb stuff, I'm down. But we do have a lot to get through still. So the backstory before I show you the screen. I have brought up that I watch Bill Noble, who's somebody who talks about crypto in general on YouTube. He's on X as well. And he's probably one of the few like daily shows, roughly daily, maybe every other day, that I sit down and generally watch the entire stream until it gets to the charts where they go over like the pricing of like every coin. I'm like, not my bags, not my problem. True. But it does go over different headlines and giving his take on things. And the other week, he started going on about this like John McAfee anti-AI, like AI antivirus coin thing. And I'm like, okay. That sounds kind of weird, but I've never really seen this guy show anything except for like his membership group. I don't really have much on Solana. Okay, let me throw $30 in, right? Right. So that goes like completely sideways. Now, this is before you scrape your memory, pretend you know absolutely nothing because you're going to already have thoughts if you've seen the timeline the past few days. So the original version of this goes like horribly. There's issues with the devs. There's all these other things. And basically it goes to almost zero. And then he comes out in a video saying, yeah, like that didn't go well, but like trust things are happening. We're going to get access to his official X handle. there's all these things in the pipeline. They're going to, give allocations to the people that have tokens of the previous one and redo this. And I'm like, okay, crypto, this guy's got a decent following. Like, I'm not going to change it, but like, a little bit judgmental from my part of like, okay, man's shilling this thing and it's going to crap. Right. So then the other day, it gets relaunched and they actually start having the post on like the official John McAfee page. And this spurs like a whole bunch of reactions on the timeline. People saying there's not enough footage of audio. Sorry, there's enough footage and audio of McAfee to create an AI of him. Would be effing hilarious to have an AI version of John during this cycle. And so we're going to formulate a little bit of a hypothesis or story as we're going on here, right? And Citizen Mike, shout out to you. I know that you watch a fair bit. So MFers are about to get rugged by a zombie John McAfee. We have all these responses to it. This Mike dude probably about to push some cryptocurrency nobody's ever heard of, but would be something if this was actually the real deal. In response to somebody saying, why do I feel like this account has been hacked? 18 million views on this. So it's really all about the attention game because all of this happens and then his wife is also commenting on it. And so there's a couple trains of thoughts with it. And one of the main ones is if you have the likeness, what do we call it? Estate? Is that what the right verbiage is? Like the Muhammad Ali estate, right? Like if somebody gets the IP rights to him. So the John McAfee estate, where's the benefit? What kind of like company would go out there and be like, yep, we're going to brand all of our stuff around there? Well, what about getting the family and then doing like an AI agent and coin over it? That's where we are in 2025. So this ends up happening. Pudgy Penguins also even commenting on this, boosting the algorithm, almost 100,000 views, saying totally not hacked. Insane. And then the thing rips to 70 million. So listen, to go back, I had, I think, $60 in this, but I didn't. Bought other stuff. I don't really do anything on Solana, to be honest. But so it went from 1 to 70. So we do our $60 times 70. I'd have made $4,200. Shit, what are we doing? Insane. So is this the way that kind of highlights, yo, all utility sucks and we're going to join late to the meme coin because it really is an attention game? I don't know. That's the question. Did you drop the ticker in your Discord? Absolutely not. I am not dropping something that I do not know about. True. And again, remember, the first one was like a complete rug. So I was like, okay, this is stupid. Why would I ever touch this again? And then somehow it turns into a positive. It doesn't make any sense. But that said, the emotional timeline is going to be insane. And we'll see how people cope with different things. Because it's nuts. He doesn't even know about Meme Coin's channel. No, I do. I don't look at it. I don't do it. I saw that guy talk about it and I was like, all right, let me jump in. Because I've only ever had bad experiences with meme coins. I've been like directly messaged from people saying, yo, this is the alpha. Turns out they like faked knowing the devs. And it's like half these people that were some like Avalanche devs. And they're like, oh no, trust me on this other call. I've never had a good experience with meme coins whatsoever. So I do not touch those. And there's somebody that's driving on a sidewalk next to where we live. That's what are we doing? Can somebody get drunky out there? What the frig are we doing? Holy shit. Okay, if somebody comes crashing through the window, call 911. Okay, seeing all these airdrops for Penguin anime is awesome and super happy for my friends. Meanwhile, I put something like 150 ETH into Moonbirds and got worthless points, which I could use to buy effing scarves, 200 ETH into On-Chain Monkey and get daily reminders about being first on chain, and 4 Bitcoin into Ink on BTC. Yeah, I'm tired, boss. Woof. So this is the fun part of crypto, where like there's insane winners, while there's also like ungodly, insane, massive fat losers walking around looking like a dummy, right? But half the time you'd never know, right? You know what I mean? Like it's like, okay, initially something sounds good and then it goes horrible. Initially another thing sounds horrible and then it turns good, like the AI thing, right? Unbelievable. So Moonbirds, I mean, that was tough because the hype around Moonbirds initially was insane. Money got to people's head, wrong team in executable spots. Just the 200 ETH into On-Chain Monkey and getting daily reminders about being first on chain. I mean, Not to throw shade whatsoever, but I feel like that is the only thing I've ever seen people on Unchained Monkey talk about. I know that there was they tried to do, they did do the similar serums that we saw with like BYC, where they had like donuts, I think it was, and you could have different variants to change the rarity of your on-chain monkey. And then Ink on BTC was probably one of the craziest mints that we saw. So that was a collection that was on ordinals, and I have no idea. I have no idea how it got the hype that it did. The art did look really good. Don't get me wrong by any means. But when it came out, I felt like people thought that there wasn't enough depth with it. Everything gets kind of compared to Azuki to a point. And runes and ordinals, I mean, I still don't really know how the ecosystem is. But forward BTC into that, oh my God, that is a lot. That is a lot. So back to what we started at the beginning of the stream, where Garga was bringing up the fact that BYC and other holders will have something that they're planning this year. And it sounds like it's beyond just activating other side, right? And so we've seen positive price action. And it's weird because, you know, are we back to speculation finally? I feel like 90% of teams say something and the floor like just doesn't move and people don't care. Like, okay, for doodles and when the token is coming, I think that moved the floor a little bit. But generally speaking, words need to be replaced by actions. True. But speaking of words, can we have a celebrity talk for a moment and not get shredded? So Iggy Azalea, who launched a meme coin, but apparently is also having like a phone company that's attached to this. I'm not sure why you guys are always so eager to try to push people out of the crypto space, but I'm here to say whether you like it or not. I'm building something real that helps crypto and normies. Mark my words, I will not fail. So let's start with the original point here. Why are people so eager to push people out of the crypto space? Do you feel like that's an accurate statement? I think Web3 is a phenomenal job of sussing something out, and if it feels fake or people aren't here for like the right reasons, then it gets frowned upon. And we've seen where somebody has a big come up, they get some deal, something goes right, and there's a lot of praise saying, you deserve this, right? You'll probably see various times. People, you'll know what I'm referencing on that. But I've only ever seen people really try to push others out if they feel they're genuinely malicious. Or they're just trolls. So, I mean, for Iggy, they're still around. Okay, cool. I don't think I really have anything bad to say about it, except for there's just generally a lot of negativity around celebrities in general. Okay, so this is just I can't. Deep breaths. Okay, so this is the new art coming out from a collection that is on Ape Chain. Now, originally, this entire collection was a copy and paste of the entire Bored Ape collection, right? So they stole the entire thing to begin with. And then I saw the other day that people are trying to copy what they are doing. Kind of funny, right? So the founder originally copied says, if anyone is caught using any of the artwork Apes on Apes has released for an NFT collection or something other scam, there will be an immediate DMCA issue to all marketplaces selling said dog shit. Nah, these people are not right. Like, I mean, what do we do? Bro, this guy literally stole the artwork and now he's like, I'm going to DMCA people that steal our artwork now. Nah, that's crazy. What is the timeline? What are we doing? Now, and part of like the craziness, right? We have this headline, 20% of Gen Z Alpha sees crypto as retirement alternative. And Matt says, what matters more, institutional adoption or an entire generation believing that crypto and digital assets are the future? Well, I mean, here's a question, right? Is like people jump into the space, and I made a joke about like the digital reserve that we saw a while ago from I forget who it was, but they had like the Shadow Wolves, right? And then I saw the other day, there was one, and I might even have it on here. I might have friggin' forgotten to put it on here. Oh, no, I did. Where, okay, this person, Punks OTC, is joking about having like a strategic crypto punk reserve. Okay, fair. So you see these things, and you're like, okay, you know, from probably the majority, like if I was going to do a poll, probably like 95% of us would be like, okay, you know what? That's a reasonable way. That's a reasonable way of doing something. And then you look over here and people seeing crypto as a retirement alternative. It's like, do you put it in like the fake ape collection And do people think that that's going to be their alternative, or do they put it into something more? Because the second part of what he's saying is, if you believe younger people adopting it matters more, what's the likelihood that they focus on acquiring Bitcoin over alts? I mean, even move beyond alts and talk about NFTs. And that would be an awesome study to find out what's going on that front. So Abstract Ecosystem, they put out the roadmap, or ecosystem map, I should say. Kind of interesting that Goblin Town is in here. Was a little bit surprised about that because I didn't think goblins were even doing a game, to be honest. But then Fubar is saying, good to see that Abstract Hot Dog made the cut over Delegate.cash. Good God. I love this industry. It's great. Now, as I mentioned before, we have been doing the RWA Segments podcast, and what's interesting, similar to Delegate.cash, it's trying to benefit you, Revoke.cash is going to be the guest next week for that show. I did an interview with Roscoe Callis. Super interesting. I found it one of my most favorite conversations, and that's coming out next Tuesday. But if you wanted to see all the previous guests that we've talked to, be sure to check out the link in the YouTube description below or on my X page in the bio. Intel. Yesterday was crazy. Senator Cynthia Loomis will announce something big at 10 a.m. Now, in Cynthia Loomis's post, she had like the B with like the Bitcoin, what do we call it, like arches on either side. So it looked like it was specific to Bitcoin, in which the announcement ends up being that she's going to be like the chair of some committee. People say it's rugged. Bitcoin goes soaring before the announcement, crashes after the announcement, and then there's a big announcement later in the day saying that there is going to be a digital asset reserve looked at. Nobody's committing to doing anything immediately, but pretty big news overall. And we continue to get very positive news in crypto. Just in, Solana becomes the first chain to reach 200 billion in monthly DEX volume. And think of what kind of rewards that would be on that front. Well, over on Ethereum, we got that. So funny timing of these posts. Just in, Ethereum leads blockchain earnings in 2024, collecting 2.48 billion in fees, despite March's upgrade reducing costs. So, I don't know. When you're hearing about these numbers, you're like, okay, where can I liquidity provide? How can I get on these different exchanges to be able to get a little piece of the pie? How in the world are these, Coinbase Kraken types not absolutely mooning stock-wise? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Breaking CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, says, I want the SEC to rapidly approve the tokenization of bonds and stocks. So the majority of stuff that we're seeing on chain right now, I feel like is your DeFi, your smaller player. When these open up a little bit more, how crazy can things get? Okay, so for this Think protocol, they've been doing this series of walking and talking about AI agents. Now, one of the things that I am admittedly least educated about, which we can go down the list of that. But with that being said, I think that I don't fully understand the AI agent narrative. I've seen people post about AI agents being the future and all this kind of jazz, and I'm like, okay, cool. I've seen people that have launched these AI agents, and some of them doing phenomenally well, raising a ton of money on top of it. We talked about the yesterday, where there was 2 agents that bought somebody pizza. They got together and sent money that I think somebody originally seeded them with. We're asking questions of, can these AI agents trade for us? Can they book things for us? What does the future look like under that realm? And I have no idea. But these guys are doing a walking and talking series trying to educate on that, so I thought, let's listen to it.
My belief is that I need a personal agent in the same way I need a personal computer. I think in 6 months, you can have something as performant as OpenAI running on your desktop. And I think that we're going to see a whole operating system grow out of this.
We have every reason to be optimistic about the future.
Absolutely.
Are you optimistic about the future?
All right. Let's talk about okay, so we're always brainstorming about kind of what we think is going to be cool and what's next and all that kind of stuff. What's the stuff you've been thinking about that you think is interesting that people might be getting a kick out of?
Okay, so I'm seeing a convergence of technologies that will potentially allow decentralized AI agents to like have a huge advantage over centralized agents. And that is, first of all, DeepSeek 2 just came out.
Okay, unpack. Okay, what is that?
Okay, so DeepSeek 2 is a model that comes out of a Chinese group. And they trained this model using both Chinese and English. And like what people are, this just came out this week. So the initial speculations are that by providing similar but different training in 2 different languages actually is almost like having 2 eyes on an animal.
It's like fortified
it gives depth to
That's
the thing,
so cool.
and it lets it actually get more data in a smaller package.
Isn't that amazing? I love that somebody figured that out.
My friend Daniel has been actually collecting endangered languages, of which there's a huge number of them, for like years and years and years. So his group XRI actually has like the only data set in the world of that. So like Facebook and Google come to him all the time to try to get access to it. For this reason is because he's a linguist PhD and he's always been like, this is what's gonna, this is how intelligence works.
Yeah, exactly. And it's almost thinking about like language as a technology is really interesting. Okay,
so this model now is performing at like OpenAI 01 levels.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, and it's tiny, it's
But
small.
it's so small. Okay, so explain, help people understand when we're talking about the difference in the...
Okay, so to have somebody else manage a server for us to be able to run like one inference node, which would basically be like, 5 to 20 inferences per second, not that many. 60 grand a year is what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Like to have that thing managed. Like you could try to do it yourself and whatnot.
You have to have money.
But it's expensive.
Yeah.
Well, now this DeepSeek can actually run super performantly on a Mac Mini.
Which is wild.
So I imagine a world right now where because of this model.
So 60 grand a year.
Yeah.
And that's ongoing costs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Or a Mac Mini.
Yep. And so you're looking at something like $500 to $1,000 depending on the.
It's crazy.
And so you've got those 2 things together. And I think like as part of our movement, I really want to get a group building around that standard because I think that we could all just own a Mac Mini.
Yeah.
Right? Like why not?
And then everybody's helping each other learn how to build on top of it.
And Apple's built in like the privacy enclave.
Okay, but what is it about it? So obviously it's light, it's way lighter weight, way more affordable, but like what are you seeing almost from a performance perspective that makes you, because as soon as it came out, you were like, dude, you got to see this.
Yeah.
Like what are you seeing from a technology perspective? Let's take cost outside of it.
It has high capabilities and low hardware requirements, so anybody can do it. So it makes it so that, having $60,000 is hard, especially if you're not making money from it today.
Yep. And you're a builder and you're just trying to make cool stuff. Yeah.
And so now anybody can build it. So it moves us from thinking about the cloud to thinking about my machine.
Yeah.
And then my machine.
Okay, so what does that unlock for you when people start doing that? Going from like, I got to think about how to afford this like crazy expensive cloud infrastructure access versus it's on my machine, on my desk. Like how does that change the way you think about it as a builder?
So the way I think about it as a builder is by it being on my desk, I'm not giving all of my information for free to OpenAI and Claude.
Huge. That's huge.
And also when
you're starting to own your intelligence.
I'm starting to own my intelligence. I can bring all of my personal data into it because it's already on my computer.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's the same security profile as my own machine.
It's amazing.
And like there's other pieces like these LoRa, like low band frequency repeaters, allows you to almost create like an internet between people that are hosting these routers. And inference requests are small enough now that you could actually build an over-the-air inference system that sent encrypted data.
Which is wild.
And actually got an inference, got it back, and the repeater network is
And I'm just bringing up the tweets for the next half.
Again, own your intelligence.
Own your intelligence. It's like...
You're literally sending out frequencies of intelligence, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm. And so, all these things can be piloted by agents. And so, like, my belief is that I need a personal agent in the same way I need a personal computer.
Yep.
So if you have a personal computer back in the day, because you're like, well, I'm going to be able to work better, I'm going to be able to manage finances, I'm going to have better
bicycle
entertainment.
for the mind.
It's a bicycle for the mind. Owning your agent and like learning the basics of how to click the pieces together.
Yeah.
Kind of like back in the day, we like learned how to create we learned how to use applications on our desktop. This is going to be a huge advantage. There was this great tweet this morning that was talking about, like everybody's scared because the founder of Claude said, within the next, I think, 2 years, agents are going to be better than humans at every task.
Yep. Yep.
And that's, at first you're
2
just
to
like,
3
oh,
years. Yeah, I know.
shit.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. But
Well, yeah, what does that mean? What are the repercussions?
But there was this great comment on it, which was, and when we create tools, it lets us level up.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you have to level up.
Yeah, you have to. Because you
It's not
talked
a
about the
choice.
exocortex, right?
Yeah.
Like our external kind of like mind now, you can run it at your home on a Mac Mini.
Yes.
Now we're talking.
Now
like
we're
this is crazy stuff.
And if it needs more, it can reach out to Venice and have like completely uncensored privacy.
Exactly.
And so it can scale too. Like we're at
Will you
this
explain
spot
what
now.
Venice is just for folks?
Yeah, so Venice is an awesome project that Eric Voorhees and Jesse and a bunch of folks have put together, and they have created a system in which everything that happens on ChatGPT's website gets moved to your own browser.
Yeah.
So now instead of the data going into the browser, they are doing like a privacy router that like sends your messages
It's amazing.
without anybody looking at it. And it keeps all the data right there in your browser so that they don't touch it.
Yep. It's
And
awesome.
they have all the legal language saying and any of the things that like possibly could be done, they're like saying legally we are completely opting out of this and we'll be in trouble if we did, if somebody messed with this.
Okay, so this new model coupled with the right hardware, affordable hardware, right? And I know it's still expensive, but relatively affordable, right? What does this look like in a year, dude? Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about builders. Like for a builder, what does this look like in a year?
I think
6 months.
I think in 6 months, you can have something as performant as OpenAI running on your desktop. And I think that we're going to see a whole operating system grow out of this. And like, if you really think about what the Think protocol is, the Think protocol is designed to increase the number of users on that operating system and increase the number of applications available.
Yeah. It's wild.
And if developers come in and they have access to 50 companies' protocols, they've got the APIs over here, they've got the Web3 tasks, they've got the wallets, they've got the traders, they've got the analytics, they've got the predictive models for on-chain behavior. All of these pieces start clicking together, and now you have a palette to work from. So this is like the agent artists of the future are going to have the palette, they're going to have the operating system, and they're going to have the distribution channel.
Yeah. It's happening fast, man. I love it. Love to see it. The fact that we're within striking distance of actually owning your intelligence is fantastic. Because when we first started these kind of series of like walk and talks and things like that, it felt like we were so far away.
We were in a rush against time.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the executive order for like basically stopping open source AI got taken down.
Yeah, they
this
got
week.
taken down. That's right.
Like, and that was like whatever,
And that was a
year
big
and a
deal.
half
Actually,
ago.
will you explain that for folks that don't understand why that was such a big deal?
So summer of 2023, an executive order gets made that basically puts a ceiling on how big of an AI model you can be making.
Yep.
And they basically said like, hey, anything above this needs like government intervention. But there's not like a path for government intervention.
Yeah.
It's more like if you make everything illegal,
Yeah.
and then people have to
60
like
seconds.
do the thing when it's legally gray, they get to choose which.
They get to pick the
They
winners.
get to choose which. Yeah, they get
that's
to pick the
right.
winners.
Yeah. And it pretty much was, it would have been, at least in America, they were trying to kill the idea of decentralized, open source on-chain AI.
It's very threatening to power structures. Like AI is like, it's like having the whole internet on your machine.
Yeah, yeah.
Like right now, this DeepSeek model, like somebody in China or America or wherever could have this model, right? Like, and I don't know if it's been reviewed yet for like, is there like propaganda in this thing already?
Yeah.
But like there would be no reason that somebody like Noose Research or someone like that couldn't take that existing model and then work on it to actually make it be like
Shout out to those guys.
Yeah,
Awesome team.
a philosophy that's much more about open source, decentralized, user driven.
Sure. Dude, we're seeing it. It's happening.
Yeah.
Like, we have every reason to be optimistic about the future.
Absolutely.
Okay, there we go. So going over, Sheila, remember we saw something like that at the conference? And the army. Google it. Will in a momentaro. So on the thought where we just saw Mikey a second ago, one thing that seems to be confirmed, more or less, is that Think is connected with Futureverse. It's connected with Yuga. It's starting to connect with everybody, and they're trying to create standards around this. And Mikey has deleted tweets before where it does like the root to the tree on things because I guess it gave too much of a hint of the association on that. But I mean, Garga made this post the other day regarding anime. An ape chain was posting about it, but then Garga said, stoked to see what our neighbors on Arbitrum over at Anime Chain cook up. Okay, cool. So are they working with anime? Because Mikey's saying, oh, look, here's the root to the tree. We have all these kind of jazz. The final post regarding that is he posted this other thing saying, been organizing step 6 for the last year. What the hell is step 6? We go to this tweet and it says, open source AI fueled by crypto ends up innovating at the fringe, creating the best use case agent, the best use-specific agents, front-running centralized corps via a vertical stack. Blockchains power adoption, scale, and creation of agent-owned assets. We call that Silentology. So again, a lot of things going through. Very excited what transpires over all of that. Senator Cynthia Loomis, they put out this statement amongst that board seat chair thing. Stats are going to have to go back into PR. I wonder who wrote this. Digital assets are the future, and if the United States wants to remain a global leader in financial innovation, Congress needs to urgently pass bipartisan legislation enabling a comprehensive legal framework for digital assets, and that strengthens the U.S. dollar with a strategic Bitcoin reserve. I'm humbled my colleagues have placed their trust in me to chair this historic subcommittee, and I look forward to shepherding bipartisan legislation to President Trump's desk this year that secures our financial future. So the question is, should you write that? Somebody else? Either way, sounds good. And CZ commenting again, big man from Binance, U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve pretty much confirmed. Crypto moving at crypto speed again. Okay, so we talk about like walled gardens a little bit because people are using that terminology. And then specifically with Apple and how there's like a 30% app tax. Well, on Telegram, if you remember a little bit ago, there was all this rage about Telegram doing gaming and being really a home for crypto. And they put out this announcement the other day saying to maintain scalability and security for the TON network, which is like Telegram's blockchain, all mini apps with cryptocurrency features must exclusively use TON blockchain. No other blockchains are permitted. Now, I mean, one would argue, it doesn't really matter, but at the same time, it's their platform. They get to pick what is on it. So as we see, similar to how if you look on Flow, how they have various IPs of NBA Top Shot, Disney, et cetera, that are associated with it, and they're kind of just on their platform. Well, other people are trying to do that. Now, with that said, I think like NBA is on SoRare, and there's like different things where I think Flow only has like the video rights to NBA, and it's all very, very specific. But again, just interesting for a massive app with a ton of users. You are going to have to be going through their blockchain. TrueCon made this image a while ago. I was just scrolling my timeline. I thought it was absolutely hysterical. So TrueCon shouted again. Thank you for the laugh. Absolutely phenomenal. All right. Yesterday as well, Ivanka Trump, we've seen like 4, 5, 6 meme coins coming out of the Trump camp for whatever reason. And I guess there was a fake one regarding Ivanka. I don't know why she made a comment regarding it. Must have gotten like some serious traction because again, if you've looked at meme coins, and literally anybody can make one called the exact same thing. So I can imagine there's 605 of them, but I guess one of them got enough of attention to require a statement from her, which is kind of wild. V-Friends, the Loyal Lobster hat. Listen, we got V-Friends still kicking around, doing different merch and other pieces for people. Hat doesn't look too bad. Kind of interesting overall. The top 10 best-selling video games in the United States for 2024. Any surprises on this one? Call of Duty Black Ops 6, EA Sports College Football 25, Helldivers 2, Dragon Ball Sparking 0, NBA 2K25, Madden NFL 25, Call of Duty, EA Sports, Elden Ring, EA Sports MVP bundle. So, big, massive takeaway, sports absolutely crush everything. So something we need to be paying more attention to is specific sport branded games that are connected to the blockchain. Again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 of the top 10 games in the United States being sports related. Food for thought. Food for thought. Yesterday as well, Intel, Trump's executive order prohibits agencies from undertaking any action to establish, issue, or promote central bank digital currencies. Seems rather significant. Just saying. All right, emergence. This is not the emergence that's connected with Featureverse. This is the one from Story Protocol.
Gods, murderers of my world, destroyers of my home, you will pay for your sins. I swear.
Okay, cool video. Where's the follow-up? What are we doing? Give us the worlds. Emerging soon. Waiting to see what happens with that, but video does look quality. Rumble Wallet is coming. Again, this is one of the... Yo, what's going on, Armando? How we doing? This is one of the platforms that try to contend with like Twitch, YouTube, etc. But Rumble is really focusing on live streaming. They've bought Bitcoin. They're in crypto. They've been very, very vocal around the Web3 realm. And now they're having a specific Rumble Wallet that's associated with it. Now, I tried to go over to Rumble and see if I could like connect to it through these streams, because again, like for anybody that doesn't know, basically you just like take a stream key, put it in there, like I have X, YouTube, Twitch, and all just feeds out the same thing. And so it's like, oh, like maybe I can do that for Rumble as well. Yeah, I need like a whole bunch of followers, this other stuff, and it doesn't just happen. So, I mean, maybe one day, but I still love the fact that they are showing some love to the side of Web3. Okay, guys, before I scroll down, what do you think the bag is? Cops going to call and say, what the hell is going on? I got the shiny version. Well, there's your hint. What the hell is a shiny version of anything? Who wants to buy? Going to the highest bidder. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The PSA Magazine 2025 January edition. They have the Rayquaza front. You know, obviously Rayquaza is green, but in Pokemon they do have like a shiny version, which is just like an alternate color. And so this is like the black Rayquaza. Somebody's trying to sell it. Kind of cool when you see the different collectibles. So there was some fun around like elementals right after the token drop, and how like NFTs just absolutely get schmucked. But elementals were going for 1.812 December 21st. So essentially a month later, if we now go, so again, it was 1.82. Remember that in my head. I'm gonna puke. Oh my God, down to 0.35. Holy shit. What are we doing? 77%. And I saw some questions on the timeline the other day. There was like, it was Seed Phrase, and he was asking like, what's going on? How come these teams don't have something better for like the token drops, right? Where it is? Let me find it because I tweeted it. Yeah. I was like, someone teach him about Featureverse NFTs. Why do NFT collections typically drop all the tokens at once instead of making you stake the NFT for tokens? Yes, I get the low float thing, but it never ends well for the NFT floor once the liquidity event happens. I mean, we've seen this with apes, we've seen this with penguins, we've seen this with like literally everything. We just saw this with Azuki. The list goes on and on. It is interesting though, because like for Featureverse, they have it where it's like a quest system, and then you have to like get a score, and then like over time, and you're not really known when you're going to get like the tokens. We have no idea how long the dispersal is going to be by any metric, and it's kind of frustrating. But it is wild to watch like how floors are absolutely just completely wrecked after tokens. But you're happy beforehand because hey, the price goes up. True. All right, aped without research. DYOR. Inuit token. Someone shared it with me. Then a few minutes later, I saw this pop up from Pocket Universe. I immediately exited up 50%, and then the token proceeded to die in front of my eyes. Thank you, Pocket Universe. So this is cool. It says this token has suspicious activity. 97% of volume is from fresh wallets. Oh, okay. A little bit of shenanigans going on in the meme coin space. But again, there's Pocket Universe. There's Kerberist, which we've done an interview in the RWA Segments podcast with the individual from that. Revoke.cash also has an internet browser extension that we get into a little bit on next week's podcast for that. But again, there are various tools to take advantage of if you are interested in that front. And looked like that helped out with Adam, so just wanted to share that. Okay, some other horrific news, even though that was good, because it was like he made money, but then everybody else lost. The way it goes, I guess. ThorChain is insolvent. What? In the event of any large debit redemption and or savers and synth deleveraging, it is certain that ThorChain cannot meet its Bitcoin and ETH denominated obligations. Validators decided to pause the network while they vote a restructuring plan. Gated. Why do we keep having these ridiculous headlines in the news? We're not going through all the things, but like, sheesh, you think you're safe, and then boom, something horrible happens. And then also there's some massive brainiac in Triangle. What's going on? How we doing? That posted back in 2023 saying they got problems here. The ThorChain's lend program is not novel, not riskless, and will not survive. They're literally selling naked options for $0 premium. This is inevitably a Terra Luna 2.0 for Rune. All right. I was going to give them a follow, but apparently I'm already following them. Listen, they had the insights back in 23. If only I knew. What do you think about the US-based proof of work chain, Saperium? Its CEO is at Trump's inauguration. I've never heard of a Saperium. Hold on. I got to look up two different things, though. So as you said a moment ago, the Andiami. I forgot the D on that. Andiami. Oh, there we go. Okay. This is the guy that was doing the E thing, wasn't it? He's a part of that project led by Decentral Laka? Decentral? Okay, never mind. The Power Use and Control Internet Proudly Canadian project. Snazzy. They gave us such a good speech. They talked about how they were the founding team of Ethereum. They had photos of Vitalik in a room back in the day. Then last update was 2023. Nah, it's what I call tough. Welcome to crypto, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. Why is the space like this? Seriously, why is the space like this? Unbelievable. Tough luck. And then Cypherium. So when I looked that up, there was somebody called Jeff Gordon that has that tag. Let me try again. Cypherium chain. Oh, we get the blockchain here. 30,000 people. Okay. What do we got here? Decentralizing smart contract platform for creating and connecting RWA and empowering AI. Make crypto great again. And they have a couple of photos of things. These are all, okay, so, welcome to 2025, proof of work. It's weird. They don't really have like a whole lot of insights on their page except for like resharing that dinner. So I guess Triangle. My first thought, they need to give a little bit more info off the rip, but it is good that they are, in the spotlight, if you will, from that perspective. And it looks like we got about like 15 mutual followers. Not crazy amount, but looks like people are paying attention. Okay. Not bad. Okay, final thing we're going to end on with here, and then we'll get out of here, let you enjoy your weekend. The Baltimore Orioles have implemented a new concession menu with 11 items for $5 or less. Now, we saw this with the Phoenix Suns that we highlighted before. Orioles are doing this. Listen, you notice how when one big player does it, a couple others follow saying, oh, that's good. Fans like it and engagement's good. Listen, that's what we do in crypto too. Kind of see what the retaliation or the implementation of things happen when one big player does it, then another wants to jump in, and we're covering all of it. But thank you so much for coming on through. Snazzy, Armando, Triangle, Esther, Harry, Swan, Ballythorn, thank you for coming on through. Cosman, Amtali, jeez. Have yourself a good one, everybody. Ari, for playing Marvel Rivals later, let me know. But otherwise, peace.